asked me to announce that when we leave the Beis Medrash at night, people just try to tidy up and throw out their cups and move in their chairs. The early minion in the morning complains that it's left a little bit of a mess. It's worth keeping good shalom bayis with the Beis Medrash. Okay. Okay, so yesterday we discussed, for those who have housekeepers, maids in their house, that it's usher for them to do malacha for a Yisroel. The only thing that it's maybe mutter is that they could do malacha for themselves, and that also, Rabbi Simcha learns, the Mishnah Berurah brings Rabbi Simcha that says that even that's not so pashut because it's marasayin. Those who see her do the malacha will think that it's for you. So we discussed that even if she's doing malacha for herself, but that type of malacha that she's doing is a malacha which is nikr metaych malachta, that she's doing it for herself, like washing her clothes. There, even Rabbi Simcha agrees that it's okay. Then the Mishnah Berurah brought the Rabbi that says that he's not chayshish for Rabbi Simcha altogether, and we're not chayshish for marasayin when a guy does malacha for himself, the Beis Yisroel. What's called maleches atzma? So that we brought the Chazon Simon Reish Ayin Vav that says that even sometimes when it seems like the guy is doing malacha for the Yisroel, surprisingly, it could have a din of a daited nafshei kavod. He's doing it for himself. He's doing it for her. She's doing it for herself. Washing dishes, turning on the light while she's washing dishes to be able to wash dishes easier. Turning on the hot water when she washes dishes. Although that would depend. Why is she turning on the hot water? She's turning on the hot water because to keep her hands warmer, because that's the only way she can wash the dishes, to remove the dirt. If that's the only way she can wash the dishes, that's usher. But if it's for herself, because she wants to keep her hands warm while she's washing dishes, then that she's doing for herself, just like she's turning on a light, just make it easier for her to wash the dishes. But so that's only facilitating the washing of the dishes. But if the hot water she turned on is because that's the only way she can wash dishes, so that's already a problem. Okay, so today, we didn't have much time. Today we discuss the next halacha in Shulchan Aruch, Siman Reish Mem Dalet Sivav. The Beis Yosef brings a Maram Rotenberg. Maram Rotenberg says that if a person bought rights from the government to collect taxes, interesting case, pays the government £10,000 and he gets a toll booth in some bridge or whatever, collects the taxes in some toll booth. So the halacha is, the Maram Rotenberg says, that he's allowed to appoint a guy to collect those taxes on Shabbos. Make a deal with the guy, say, listen, I'll give you, for every £1,000 you collect, I'll give you £10. I'll pay you b'kablonis for the job. And although he has to work on Shabbos, we're going to be mater kablonis on Shabbos, even if it's apparent that the Yid is asking to work on Shabbos because otherwise he'll lose money, we're mater it anyways, the Maram Rotenberg says, because there's a svara of Adam Bahol al Mamaynoi. A person is Bahol al Mamaynoi. When it comes to a big hefsid, he sees he's about to lose a great sum of money. He's Bahol, he becomes Bahol, and he doesn't think. And then he might do it himself. He might be over on Isurim himself. So therefore, we will matter kablonis to hire a guy on Shabbos, the kablonis, even though you're telling him to do it on Shabbos, because of the svara, because Adam Bahol al Mamaynoi, a person is Bahol on his money. If we won't be matter him to do that on Shabbos, to at least hire the guy in such a oifen to collect the taxes for him on Shabbos, to lose that day's taxes. Right? People will go past the toll booth and lose whatever taxes he could have collected. So therefore, they will matter the gviyas hameches. Now, the din of hefsid, being mater amir la'akum, the makam hefsid, you're standing to lose a great sum of money, is it mutter to tell a guy to avoid that loss, to do malacha for you so you could avoid that loss. So it's not so simple. Here it seems like it's okay. Here the Rambam says it's okay. For all practical purposes, it's Amir Lakum. You tell the Kablan to work on Shabbos for you, that's like Amir Lakum. And nevertheless, it's a mutter because of Svara Adam Ba'al Amamayna, because you're standing to lose a great sum of money, so you might come to do it yourself. So it will allow you to be over an Isser Kal of Amir Lakum, so to prevent you from actually doing the Isser of Gvias Meches, which could be Isser Deraisa involved. You write down whoever gave you what. So therefore, to prevent, the Isser Deraisa will allow you to do Isser of Amir Lakum. And Simon Shin Lamed Beis, the Shulchan Aruch discusses if someone has a behema. And we're not sure if it's going to die or not. Sick animal. So the Shulchan Aruch says, Yochel Amida B'mayim Kadesh Tetztanan. You're allowed to be over an Isser D'Rabbana. And Musafik Shem Lo Yekiz Lo Dam Thomas Mutter Lo Mele Any Yehudi Lakizo. If it's a suffix whether you're going to lose this behema, if you're not going to make his dam, you're allowed to tell a guy to do it for you. So again, that Shulchan Aruch again we see a similar halacha that it's mutter Amir La'akim b'makom. There's a suffix you're standing to lose your behema, money. So Amir La'akim is mutter. You're allowed to go tell a guy to do malachim, to go be make his dam. So Rabbi Kedega asks a very strong question in Shabbos Daf Kuf Chaf Aleph. He asks, the Gemara there says, the Mishnah says, you're not allowed to tell a guy, your house is burning down, you're not allowed to tell a guy to extinguish the fire. Now everybody can imagine if your house is burning, you're standing to lose a great sum of money. It's a hafsid gadol, right? Nevertheless, the Mishnah says, Ein oimrim lo kabeh, you're not allowed to tell a guy to extinguish that fire. So Rabbi Kedega says, it seems from that Mishnah, the Gemara there, that even if there's a hefset, Amir Lakim is also. And here, the Halach in Shin Lamed Beis, here as well, in Reish Mem Daled, right now we're discussing, it seems that hefset, b'makom hefset, Amir Lakim is mutter. Another place we find Amir Lakim is mutter when you're standing to lose money is in Reish Samech Vav, I think. Din misha hechshech le baderech. Someone is walking on the street. He's walking on the street. He's walking outside of the yishuv, and he has money on him. Can't carry the money on Shabbos. So what does he do? He can tell a guy to carry it for him on Shabbos. That's also Amir Lakim. I want the guy to do something for you on Malach on Shabbos. Nevertheless, they're mad to it. Why? Because Odin Ba'ol Al Amayna. If we're not going to allow him to be over an Isser Kal of Amir Lakim, what's going to happen is he's not going to put the money on the street. He's going to take it with him and be over an Isser Deraisa. So again, so we find over there these three places, Shin Lamed Beis, and Reish Samach Vav, and Reish Mem Daled, a few places Shulchan Aruch is mavur that if there's a hefsid, the Amir Lakim is mutter, b'makom hefsid because it's svar of Odom Ba'ol Al Amaynai, and by Dleika, it's a Mishnah, and Rabbi Kedega asks from that Mishnah, why over there, Ein Omer Lekabei Hagam, there's a hefsid involved. So the answer they give is, the Ran really asks the Kasha, the Ran and Misha Hichshech asks from that Gemara of Dleika. The Ran says, because there's a chashash, maybe you're going to be Misayeya him. You're going to be Misayeya the guy while your house is burning down. There's no chashash, you're going to be Misayeya, you're going to help the guy when you're on your way somewhere and you have something, you're carrying something, you're going to give it to the guy, there's no chashash, you're going to help him out. Because you just give it to him, you hand it over to him, he can do it himself. But by Dleika, where the guy's going to extinguish the fire, so there, he's going to throw water on one side and still the other side is burning down. So once we're going to allow you to somehow be oisig and extinguishing the fire, there's more of a chashash that you're going to come to do it yourself, because now you see that it's almost not burning down anymore and you're going to want to help him out. So there by Dleika it's different, because the chashash b'sayaya. But anyhow, what we see is that when there's no chashash that you're going to be Misayeh the guy, the Makam Hafsid, you're allowed to tell a guy, but you're like a Makam Hafsid is mutter. Makam Hafsid Gadol is mutter. It's an interesting tshuva in Ramosha I'm going to share with you. Actually, this tshuva was written to a fellow in England. He discusses pounds here instead of dollars. He says like this: there's a fellow who owned a bank. And the rule, the law, is that if someone cashes a check from, let's say, he has an account with Lloyd's Bank, and he cashes it in another bank. I'm not sure yet what other banks' names are. He cashes it in another bank. So the other bank won't give him the money right away. I'll give him the money only when they confirm that he actually has money in the other bank. Right? Let's say he wants to cash a check from someone's account in Lloyd's. So they have to verify with the other bank to make sure that the guy actually has money in his account. So how do they confirm that? They contact the other bank, or whatever, they notify them that they're about to cash this check for this fellow that came into their bank. And if they don't hear a response, then they assume everything is okay. Unless they hear otherwise, he's innocent until proven guilty. Now the problem was that this fellow, he was a Jew, and he owned a bank. Now his bank has to be closed on Shabbos and Yom Tov. Because the problem of Mir La'akim, you can't have goyim working for you on Shabbos and Yom Tov. So what's going to happen? People who have accounts with this bank are going to write out checks to other people, and the other people are going to want to cash it in a different bank. And the different bank is going to contact his bank and not hear a response because no one is working on Shabbos and Yom Tov. And they're going to assume that there's money there. And once the other bank pays the money, who's going to be responsible to pay back that money? The original bank. So he's going to lose money. He's going to lose a lot of money. So that was the shayla that Moshe was asked. What's the eitzah? What could he do to employ goyim? They should sit there and be able to respond to other banks for 1 or 2 hours a day. Come in and make sure that they can respond accordingly. So the Rabbi Moshe writes, he brings this heter from Reish Mem Dalet that we just saw by Yehudi Akoina Meches, right? Someone who bought taxes from the government. That there's a halacha b'makom hefsed gadol. You're allowed to do it through kablanis. You pay the guy a certain amount for the job, even though you're telling him to work on Shabbos. But b'makom hefsed gadol, and there's no chashash that you're going to be misayeya. You're going to help him out because this guy's not in the bank. B'shas ma'aseh, he's in his house. He's keeping Shabbos. So no chashash of misayeya. Therefore, it's mutter. That's what Moshe writes in the tshuva based on our halacha. Now, the whole heter over here is because Odom Bohol al Mamoinah, right? The Makam Hefsid is a svara, a person is bohol on his money, and therefore we allow him to do the malacha, to be over an Isra Amir La'akim, the Kabbalonis, so we should prevent him from being over a more Chomer Isra of a Dairaisa. What if the more Chomer Isra that he could potentially be over wouldn't be Isra Dairaisa? What if it would only be Isra Darabanan? For example, let's take the case of the Shulchan Aruch. Yehudi Akoina Meches, right? He bought the rights to collect the taxes. We allow him to be over an Amir La'akim for a guy to collect those taxes, so to prevent him from doing an Isser. Which Isser are we preventing him to do? We're preventing him to do Isser Daraisa, Isser Darabanan. So Pashtas, it's Isser Daraisa. Why? Because he's going to write. Because when you collect taxes, the Yid alone is going to collect taxes. He's going to come to write. And Ksiva is a Malachas, is one of the Lamatas Malachas, Kaisiv. But the Taz learns, and the Mishnah brings him down, that even if only Isser D'Rabbanan is involved, even if potentially we're just preventing him from being over an Isser D'Rabbanan, we still allow him to be over an Amir La'akim, which is also an Isser D'Rabbanan, rather than have a suffix whether he's going to come to be over the other Isser D'Rabbanan. Why? Because what's the Isser D'Rabbanan involved by Meches? The Isser D'Rabbanan is Muktzah. What are you collecting? You're collecting money. Right, so the Isser D'Rabbanan you could potentially be over if the Yisroel himself does it is Muktzah. What other Isser D'Rabbanan is there? V'daber davar, he's going to speak to the people about business. That's another Isser D'Rabbanan. So that's an active Isser D'Rabbanan. It's B'kum V'aseh, he's being Metatel Muktzah. He's speaking. Whereas Amir La'akim is passive. You tell the guy before Shabbos what to do. On Shabbos you're not doing anything. So the Taz learns that still we're going to allow the Yid to be over an Amir La'akim if there's a potential chashash, right? We have a chashash that on Shabbos, if we're not going to allow him to do the Amir La'akim on Shabbos, he's going to be over on an Isser D'Rabbanan like Muktzah or anything else.
We'd also be over on Tzal. I mean,
if it's Shazam D'Oraisa.
It's very hard not to be over on Tzal in that situation.
Right, if it's Shazam D'Oraisa, he'll be over on Tzal. Right, so the Taz learns that even if there wouldn't be an Isser D'Oraisa involved, let's say we're not dealing with the Shazam D'Oraisa, we're not dealing with Ksiva, still that would be no problem. Okay, stop over here because we share a little later.